God of War is an action-adventure role-play video game released for PlayStation 4 in 2018. This is the 8th installment in the God of War series. However, unlike previous games that were based upon Greek mythology, this game takes inspiration from Norse mythology. The game follows former Greek god of war, Kratos, and his young son, Atreus, as they journey to the highest peak in all the 9 realms to spread the ashes of their recently deceased wife/mother. Along their journey, the father and son must battle monsters and gods of the Norse world, and this gives us 2 lenses through which we can analyze God of War: culture and ethics. God of War reflects both past and current cultures within its gameplay. The game primarily reflects the Viking culture and their Norse mythology within their cultural representation. Like any other media, video games have the capacity to depict cultures in a negative way, and the developers of God of War chose to portray the Viking culture in a negative light. In Norse mythology, the god Balder is the god of light, joy, purity, and the summer sun. He is loved by everyone and everything. However, this is heavily contrasted with God of War's depiction of Balder, serving as the main antagonist for Kratos. Balder is insensitive, arrogant, psychotic, and quick to brutally attack our protagonist Kratos and his son. Balder even tries to kill his own mother before Kratos stops him. Basically the exact opposite of the upbeat portrayal of Balder that Viking culture imparts. This negative depiction of Norse mythology is further highlighted when Kratos meets Thor's sons, Magni and Modi, who attack him ruthlessly and without mercy. In Norse mythology, however, Magni and Modi are seen as symbols of hope and new life, not symbols to attack without mercy. Using Balder, Magni and Modi as examples, it is clear that the developers of God of War chose to negatively highlight the Viking culture in favour of Kratos and his son. God of War is also respectively influenced by other popular culture. Another part of popular culture known for its representation of Norse mythology is Marvel Comics, who have countless comics and films based upon the Norse god of thunder, Thor. When God of War was first released, Marvel's Thor starred in the blockbuster movie Avengers: Infinity War. This film saw the main villain Thanos assemble 6 magical stones into the Infinity Gauntlet to defeat Thor and his allies. God of War pays tribute and references this famous Marvel event by centering an entire storyline around Kratos collecting his own 6 magical stones for his own gauntlet. Both Marvel's Thanos and God of War's Kratos are known for their bloodlust and violence against Norse gods. One of the other major Marvel influences on God of War is Kratos' main weapon, the Leviathan Axe, which has a strong resemblance to Thor's axe Stormbreaker. Both axes can be summoned to the user's hand and are crafted by dwarves. By referencing the Infinity Gauntlet and Stormbreaker within the game, these are just 2 small ways the developers of God of War were influenced by other popular culture. God of War deals with the theme of ethics through its portrayal of choices within the game. Throughout the story, Kratos is responsible for passing on lessons and the creator's ideas around 2 important ethical issues. God of War deals with the idea of truth, and in particular when it is okay to lie to the ones you care about. Throughout the course of the story, Kratos tries his hardest to keep his past and true nature from his son, never revealing to him that he is a god. Because of Kratos' lies and deception, his son Atreus falls desperately ill. It is revealed that because Atreus doesn't know about his inherited god status, he is unable to reach his full potential and instead falls victim to a curse.
This is no ordinary illness. The boy's true nature, your true nature, fights within him.
Only when Kratos reveals the truth to him, the curse is lifted and Atreus is able to reach his full potential of his powers.
But the truth is, I was born a god. And so were you.
This suggests to players that the ethical decision regarding lies and deceiving your loved ones is never acceptable, and that truth and knowledge is a form of power. God of War also deals with the subject of violence, and the ethics behind the decision of when it is okay to use violence. Like many people in the world, Kratos acts with violence according to his own morality. He is always telling Atreus that it is only okay to use violence for your own survival, such as killing a deer for food, or when being severely threatened by an opponent. Kratos now only kills out of self-defense and does not see the point in killing a weakened enemy, such as when Kratos offered Balder multiple chances to step aside and only fought him when threatened. Kratos understands that excess violence will not bring him or others peace and considers it to be unethical. However, on the flip side of this, Kratos sees violence as an essential part of life and an important skill to learn, which is why he's always teaching Atreus how to fight. Based on the evidence provided, lying and violence are prevalent within God of War and relate to the topic of ethics because of the choices and consequences they provide within the game. This video has demonstrated that there are several ways to analyze video games. Looking in particular at God of War through its depictions of culture and ethics, we have seen how video games can be influenced by many different aspects while they are being developed. There are two things we can learn from this. Firstly, current and past cultures play a large part in the development of video games. Secondly, it is important to consider ethics being portrayed within a game. If video game developers continue to be mindful of the effects that these can have on their game and their players, the future of video games will be one of excitement, passion, and overall, more impressive video games.